Good afternoon, team. I trust you're all well. Another fantastic month in the VIP group amongst our community. 1,579 pips banked for the month, which is amazing. As a personal goal, we always look to try and beat that 1,000 pip mark. So once again, another month we have. A lot of these positions come from actually both strategies this month, end of day and intraday. The two end of day positions we've got running live currently are Aussie dollar long and Kiwi dollar long. Again, next week we will be looking to scale in perhaps on the 4-hour or the 1-hour time frame to capitalize on this move. Kiwi's been very strong. Last week, Kane and Atif discussed some trend-based positions, trading within the daily phase 1, which is now coming to an end. So we'll take a look at the charts and show you how to capitalize through July and into August.
Okay, so first of all, we're going to start off with the euro dollar chart. This is one we highlighted last week that was in a phase 2. We're going to take advantage of this phase 1 here. And now what it looks like it's doing, it's now coming up to the end of that daily phase. Now, there are two things that could happen here from where we are. It could go up to this strong sort of resistance level around the 1.1435, where then I would expect a lot of more sellers to come in, and we move back down into daily phase 2. If it moves below from where we are now, then we can plan ahead. We can see it's in a rising channel, and what I would look for is then a phase 2 move all the way down to sort of the 1.126 level, where then I would then plan ahead and look to buy again once we revert back to another potential daily phase 1. So it's all about, we planned for this move ahead. It happened. We took it. We scaled in using smaller time frame, using the core strategy, and now we're coming up to the end of the daily phase 1. We just got to be a little bit careful. There might be one more upside to this level here, but the thing is, it is a point where we start thinking about it might be going back into a daily phase 2, and once that happens, then we just wait for the next move up.
Yeah, it's just a game of patience now. We can see how the market is cycling. We can see the pattern that's formed. So we're just patient. We wait for the market to roll out, and then we look to capitalize once we find ourselves in a position that meets our rules or meets the criteria we're looking for.
Exactly. It's just a case we've worked hard for this, making this money, and now we keep it and don't give it away. Next chart is dollar CAD, where we had this superb move. Our entry was around this level here. We've seen the sellers coming. It's almost just over 300 pips, the move itself. This is again, I think we're coming to an end to this daily phase 1. Get those trend lines in. Plan ahead now for the next phase 2 move. What I usually do is I look at the previous phase 2 move and use it to sort of measure out if this is the bottom, the current or the current potential phase 2 move. And as you can see, it's hovering above this sort of resistance level here where all these moving averages are coming to place. So it's all coming to place, providing this is the last sort of move in phase 1, and we're about to go into phase 2.
Definitely.
So again, another thing, another chart where we planned ahead, took advantage of this move, made our money, and now it's a game of just waiting again before the next move down. Dollar Singapore, similar sort of move to CAD. We had our entry here. We had the 1-hour entry somewhere around here. Beautiful move down. Again, this looks like it's sort of consolidating at the moment. It could make one last move down. If it doesn't, plan ahead. Look at the previous phase 2. And use it to plan ahead. And if we do that, we should sort of fall neatly amongst these moving averages, where we tend to see a bounce.
I mean, you can see it from the bars as well. As you can see, heavy selling in the last 5 or 6 days has barely moved. So you can see the momentum's run out of steam. We're starting to consolidate, so a potential pullback is definitely on the cards.
Yeah, absolutely. CAD Yen, loving this chart. This was the one where we had the inverted head and shoulders, and it's now broken through. We had a bit of a consolidation here, and now buyers have come into play. Plenty of room up to the 200 before we have another phase 2 move similar to that one, and then another push up. So again, plan ahead.
So we will be looking to get back into this on a 4-hour or a 1-hour time frame. As you can see, there is room for the market to move into.
Absolutely. And again, the core strategy works on this, especially in the yen pairs. Look at these bounces off the 1 hour, and it's
off, it's gone.
Off, it's gone. And that's what you tend to find in yen pairs, is they tend not to pull back too much on the 4 hour. That's where you got to use the 1 hour.
1 hour to get in, get out. Yeah.
The next 2 charts is just something to keep an eye out, and my focus in July. First one is pound. Now, pound tends to do quite well in July, and it's looking particularly bullish at the moment. There are 2 things that I'm applying out for. One is a potential move back down here, from a daily higher low before move back up, or a clean break of this resistance level. You've seen how many times buyers have failed. A clean break and retest, and I'm looking to buy pound, not just pound dollar, but the pound pairs, pretty much all of July, before a swift move down in August, which it usually does. So August is a bad month for pound. And the next pair I'm looking at is dollar Swiss, where on the weekly chart we have pretty much hit a really strong level. This is looking like an exhaustion candle, which was highlighted in last week's analysis, and it looks like this move is now done almost. And then I'll be looking to sell Swiss pairs in July.
Yep, good stuff.
And you're going to talk about the Aussie and Kiwi end of day.
Yeah, so for the guys that are typical 9 to 5 workers, they do favour the end of day strategy, which is a idea to catch a early entry on a complete change of direction. So we go back to the old saying of buying low, selling high. We want to find a market that's completely oversold. So for those that are a little bit more advanced, we'll catch the end of a run, look at a smaller time frame, look for a reversal pattern, even a 1 hour 15 to start seeing perhaps a higher high, higher low formation if we are looking at a bullish run. Aussie and Kiwi did tend to bottom out. Our stochastic was heavily oversold. We wait for a clean cross of the moving averages just to give us an entry. It's just a bit of discipline there rather than diving in, just to give us an entry point. On Aussie, our entry was 0.6974. So we're pretty much 30 odd pips in front at the moment, 40 odd pips in front, and we will look to scale back in. As you can see, there's still upside room on this chart. If we are targeting recent highs, you've got another 100 odd pips in play. So definitely one to keep an eye out for next week. And if you take a look at Kiwi dollar, again, very, very similar pattern. Come off of a level of support, stochastic oversold, price failed to continue with the downtrend cyclicity, created a double bottom. We was patient, we waited for the moving average crossover, and up it's gone. So a fantastic run here. Our entry was 0.6631. So good old run, edging on to
92 pips there, almost 100 pips.
Nearly 100 pips in front. And again, guys, if we're looking to target perhaps long-term targets of that recent or level in play, level of resistance at the high point of maybe 0.6910, we've got a long old way to run there. So just keep an eye. Obviously, this favours dollar weakness. So something else to bear in mind. But again, 1 hour, 4 hour time frames. Look for pullbacks in and out the markets. Again, before we see a complete change of direction.
And just to add, both Aussie and Kiwi tend to do quite well from now till mid-July. So there is no reason why we might not reach there. So yeah,
nice target there.
Reach up there. A really good target. And as you mentioned as well, if you miss this daily move, look at these bounces off the 20.
Yeah. So buy the dip as always, guys.
So that was the 4 hour. Look at these bounces of the 1 hour. Wonderful. This is just using the core strategy.
Yeah, so as you can see, when a market is clearly trending, it does provide multiple opportunities on the smaller time frames. So make sure this weekend you spend a little bit of time creating a watch list. Look for your trend-based pairs. Don't just think about what markets are trending, but start to think about where we are in the trend. Are we at the beginning with room to run? Are we at the end of a trend where there's low probability of it continuing? And of course, guys, if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to email in or speak to ourselves. But thanks, guys. Have a fantastic trading week, and hopefully we see some of you soon.